Well, you know, first I'd like to say is with all these people being deported to Ghana and Mexico and El Salvador and yes, and Pakistan and some places like that. How many Jews have been deported to Israel? I'll bet not one. You want to bet? Not one. So it's selective. Not a matter of who's breaking the law. It's what nationality you are first. And then we decide if you broke the law. I'm just putting it out there. But, it's just, the world's looking for a savior. And what they're really looking for is a scapegoat. You know, Joan of Arc was a savior. Jesus was a savior. And they ended horribly on the cross, burned on a pile of wood, alive. You know, saviors don't usually end in a good way because you're looking for someone to blame. You're not looking for someone to save you. You just want someone to blame. So when your life still sucks after the Savior does what he does, you can blame him and not yourself. And really, you're responsible. It's your fault, no one else's. And as long as you keep that mindset that it's someone else's fault, it's always going to be someone else's fault, no matter what. So, unless it's a good thing, and of course, then you're going to take credit for it. If you win the lottery, it's your fault. You made it happen. But when you lose the lottery, it's someone else's fault. It's not your fault. I would like to say that, when you feel stuck, I mean, we all get into that feeling that we feel stuck, like nothing's coming together, and nothing's moving forward. And, when you're on a parkway and you're doing 70 miles, 60 miles an hour, it comes times when traffic slows down and you go down to 10 miles an hour, or you get off on a exit and you have to slow down and you go onto a slower road, which you're doing 30 miles an hour. And that's just the ebb and flow of life. And when you feel stuck, it's just a slow down. You haven't stopped. You're just not progressing like you were. And there's a reason for that. There's what the reason is, I don't know. Depends on your situation. But like with traffic, you slow down to avoid an accident. You know, uh, a lot of people at the same time are trying to avoid an accident, so everybody just gets jammed up in one spot. But there's always a reason for the slowdown. And what you do when you're in the slowdown is what you do when you're in a traffic jam. Follow with the radio, um, make the best of it. You know, and you know it's going to end. You know you're going to get through the other side, and you'll be back to doing 70 or 60 miles an hour in no time. But to get all excited and start punching the steering wheel uh, doesn't do anybody any good, especially you. So, and it's a lack of patience when you do that. You have no patience when you do that. You have no trust in God or the universe that they're going to see you through. Maybe you have an appointment. You have to make it there in a certain time, and you're afraid of being late. You know? Whose fault is that? You should have left earlier. And I know you can't account for every disaster out there, but yeah, you can leave earlier. That has nothing to do with traffic, and that's your fault if you didn't. Patience is a virtue. You need patience, and when the traffic slows down like that, and your life gets in a stuck mode, it's it's God teaching you patience, and how you handle that is how you get on the other side and how you come out of it. If you're going to be a jerk about it, then I don't think you're going to like what you're going to find on the other side. But if you're calm and relaxed and trust in God, you'll be fine. You'll get to your destination. The one thing the Iranians are doing with Trump right now is they're playing with him. They're not signing his peace treaty. They're not signing a deal because they know the one thing Trump does not have is patience. And they're pushing his buttons by not doing what he wants. And they don't have to. They hold the cards, not Trump. So he's on a string. He's on the Iranian string. And they're dangling him out there. And they're going to do whatever they can because they know the longer they have him dangled out there, the longer we, the United States, look horrible amongst the world, which is running out of jet fuel and home heating oil and everything else that oil supplies, the fertilizer and all that. So we look like the bad guy, not the Iranians. So again, a lesson in patience and a lesson in being stuck. Trump feels stuck. He can't get out of what he started. There was no problem until he started it. He listened to Netanyahu, who didn't give a rat's ass about us. So, it's just and Netanyahu's got video on Trump. He's got stuff that he could release, and Trump would be dead. Would be out of business, probably in a jail cell too. So you know, when you put yourself out there and you do evil deeds come back to you in that way. It's one thing the devil does not do to the people that he considers his people. He doesn't really test them. You're an angel of the devil. You're not really tested. You are once you are an angel of the devil, then you are tested. But to be an angel of the devil, it's pretty much easy peasy to join. Just give up your soul and do what I say. And I'll give you a nice house, a nice car, a wife that hates you, kids that hate you, but you'll have aesthetically, you'll look like you have the best life. And that's what rich people have. They think that they're well off. They think they got it good. They got the latest electronic devices. They got the best caviar, the best sushi, the best food, and they got a chef even that cooks the food for them. But they had to sacrifice their soul to get all that stuff, and they had to sacrifice the love of their kids and the love of their family for it. You know. But with God, if you're an angel of God, you don't become an angel of God unless you are tested, and you are tested relentlessly to the nth degree to see how brave you are, to see that you won't move to the other side so easily when God offers you, when the devil offers you a pile of cash and says, "Yeah, you want out of your troubles? Here's some cash." You can buy your way out of the troubles. But when the devil does that, you know, he's got you. But God will let you go. But God won't take you under his fold unless he tests you and knows that no pile of cash will make you go to the other side. It doesn't matter the size of the cash. You will stay with God regardless. And that's why God does not have as many angels as the devil does. But that's okay because God's angels are much stronger and much braver. And the devil's angels are not brave at all. Um, you know, there's just no competition. And that's why the difference, the discourse. Uh, Now you have God angels and devil angels in the same jobs, in the same companies, doing different things, but it's the way they do the job, the way they handle themselves determines who they work for. And it's it's a personal thing. It's not a corporate thing. It's not a government thing. It's a personal thing. It's what values and integrity you have, and the patience you have, and how you handle situations. Whether you jump off the handle if somebody dents your car, do you beat them up or want to kill them in the street? Uh, or do you just hand over your insurance card and say, let God handle it? You know, because that's the way it happens. And when the devil doesn't handle a lot of things, um, so that's why you get angry because you know you're going to have to work to fix that problem. But with God, you don't have to work. It'll all work out for you as long as you're one of God's angels. And if you're not, well, then, I mean, God's angels do not have an easy life. I'm not saying that. But there's a level to that they don't have to worry. They will have food, they will have a roof over their head, they will be able to afford their rent or their mortgage. With the devil, maybe you have food, maybe you have rent, maybe you have a car, maybe you don't. You know, so he doesn't take care of his angels. He doesn't respect them. God does. And when the devil's angels are in stuck mode, they go nuts. They're the ones honking on the horn in the traffic jam, trying to get people to move because they gotta go. And the God's angels are just playing with the radio, relaxing, talking to their girlfriend, whatever. Not worried. They know they're gonna get through, and that's the big difference. Be a God angel. Don't be a devil angel. God angel is the future.